Hello and welcome to my dance studio and video channel filmed from the heart of Ceredigion, West Wales. My name's Jessica Scarlett May. I'm a fellow of the British Association of Teachers of Dancing and a former Imperial ISTD teacher and school owner. Today we're having a look at the natural spin turn. Did you know that the spin turn can be danced in Slow Foxtrot? I didn't until I did my research, and indeed I do use it now within the Foxtrot. But in any case, we'll be looking at the spin turn, usually danced in a corner initially, and we'll look at the developments where from the underturned spin turn we dance a normal spin turn down the length of the room, and an overturned spin turn which leads to an whole host of variations. So come and join me, leaders, and we'll move towards the camera and we'll be having a look at the beginner's spin turn initially. So leaders first, and we're going to start moving to this corner initially. Now, you'll either enter the natural spin turn either from a closed change, being square with a partner or reverse pivot, and or indeed outside partner. But in any context, the first step of the natural spin turn will have what they call CBM. So if I start with my feet together for the moment, facing diagonal to wall, my first step, which will be right foot forward because I'm turning to right, being a natural movement on the clock, if you will. You will use the opposite hip and shoulder to initiate the turn. Now, regardless of me dancing a natural turn or not, any turn in fact, usually that CBM is present. So that is a rule. So but we've got one rule in place, if you will, because we're going to meet a few when we dance a spin turn. So right foot forward for the natural spin turn, step. So what have we used? The turn of the body. The man's flight is still forward. So don't think of the second step as being a side step rather than being a forward step. Because that's what's happening. You're taking your left toe forward to initiate the second step, and you turn to only end to side. Now, we complete the movement by closing the feet to back line of dance. Now, the reason we back line of dance is that is a rule. Regardless of any turn that we're initiating, we will always end backing line of dance. Now, when we step back from this point, the man dances a body turn. Now, a body turn isn't one of those where we break the feet. It's one that you dance turn on the step. So, in ball and hold, you'll step left foot back, and you'll turn your body on that step. So all the turn is done on one, if you want to think of it in this case. So guys left, ladies right. No ladies for the moment. She'll be dancing a pivoting action. The guys are going to dance the pivot. So guys left foot back for the body turn. So you're making one step back And in this case, the man only has to turn 3/8 of a turn to right. And that's because a corner helps the beginner get round. Okay, and this is why it's shown as a corner initially. So we're going to step left foot back on step 4, and we're going to make a body turn pivot. So guys, left foot back and pivot. So in this case, we've only turned 3/8 of a turn. I usually get my class to dance a quarter, then 3/8. It's up to you. As long as we're there, that's the main thing. Now, that's a strong step. It's got CBM. So what did I use initially? I started with CBM. I've just stepped back for the pivot, and that's the turning of the opposite hip and shoulder towards that step. That is CBM too. Now, the man's going to step forward with CBM, body turn, and he's going to step forward right, moving down to wall of new line of dance. He continues to rise up onto the ball of his right toe before stepping left foot to side and side back to finish the figure, which is actually the highest point of the spin turn. He only lowers as he takes his next step for the 4, 5, 6 of the reverse turn normally to complete from that spin turn. So we'll do that once again. So what's the variation called? It's called a natural spin turn. Where's it being danced? It's being danced at the corner. You're either dancing in line with your partner or outside partner, because I'm going to do it outside partner now. You're stepping right foot forward with CBM. So you've done your forward lock step or a chassé. Let's hand left foot to side and slightly forward. You're going to step right foot forward, outside partner with CBM. Can you see how strong that body's turned? Left foot forward, it becomes a side step. We close the feet to back, what? Line of dance. That's a rule. We're stepping left foot back for a body turn, a pivot. Okay, so guys, left foot back, using CBM, turning of the opposite hip and shoulder towards that step, 3/8 of a turn to right. His right foot is actually in a CBMP position. Now, whenever we talk about CBMP positions, it means it's in, on, or across the line of the supporting foot. So that's maintained that position. The man's going to step right foot forward. What is he doing when he steps forward right foot? He uses CBM. He's rising, but he's at the highest point of this figure. It only happens when he steps left foot to side and slightly back. That's the highest point of the spin turn. He lowers through his left foot, dancing right foot back. Usually the lady's leading here, and he completes with 4, 5, 6 of a reverse turn to dance, whisk, left foot close change, any of those combinations. So we're going to have a look at the girl step, and then we'll have a look at the development of this figure along the length of the room. So, girls, so we're stepping left foot back, and you're taking your left foot back with your head, girls. Now, the second step for you girls is a pointing action. Can you see how the body's underturned? You're pointing to line of dance. You keep the sway and close your feet to face line of dance on step 3. Now, you can't do a pivot, you have to do a pivoting action, girls. So, that means in effect you're on the outside of the movement. And being side to right anyway, you're going to step right foot forward, heel lead, down the room with CBM. So that's that strong body turn. I discussed it with the guys' variation, but I haven't discussed it with you girls. So that's what you've got to do. You've got to step right foot forward and set your head. And you set your head to keep a centre of balance over that leg. So you're stepping right foot forward, girls. Set your head and turn on that foot. Can you see how the foot and the head are in the same direction? You haven't took your weight onto your left foot. Your next step is left foot back and slightly leftwards, IDTA technique. So we're stepping left foot back and we're going to step onto that foot and we're going to draw the right heel to the left foot and rise on it. Now that's the brushing action at the end of 5. We step right foot forward to finish this movement, stepping right foot diagonally forward from this particular spin turn. And we finish stepping left foot forward into the next movement, which is 4, 5, 6 a reverse turn to end backing diagonal to wall. It's important, girls, that we don't move the head. Once we've stepped forward, keep your head well to left. It's very important. After the spin turn, there are developments where you will actually turn your head movement towards a sway, and we'll look at that in more detail when we get to that in this lecture. So we're stepping on, going to allow the man to step outside partner this time. So you're stepping back, left foot back, and you're taking your head back too, girls, for the natural turn. You carry on stepping or pointing right toe to side, and you close the feet, girls, to face line of dance. Now we're stepping right foot forward, heel lead for what? A pivot or a pivoting action. Right foot forward for a pivoting action. So you're going to set your head when you take your step and keep your head well back, girls. So right foot forward, heel lead, pivoting action. Okay? My next step is left foot back and slightly leftwards. I'm taking my weight onto that step. I'm drawing my right heel to my left foot to rise onto balls of feet. And I continue turning, stepping right foot forward, diagonally forward between the man's feet, the highest part of the spin turn. I only lower as I take my next step into 4, 5, 6 of the reverse turn, and so on. So the amounts of turn for you girls are 3/8 of a turn to right between 1 and 3, 3/8 of a turn on 4, and then we have 1/4 of a turn over 5 and 6 to complete the turn to face diagonal to centre, and you carry on with 4, 5, 6 of a reverse to back down to wall, girls. So the corners helped us dance that through. When we dance this figure on the length of the room, we have to dance additional turn within the figure. So we'll have a look at that in more detail. We're starting left foot forward for a left foot close change. I dance right foot forward into a natural turn, and that has what we discussed before, CBM. A forward step which becomes a side step, and a closing of the feet to back line of dance. I dance a pivot, which we know as a body turn, and we dance that backing line of dance, but it ends facing line of dance. Keeping my right foot in CBMP on the track of my back foot. I set right foot forward, heel lead, continuing to turn on step 5, finishing left foot to side and slightly back to back, diagonal to centre, and the end of the turn. That, or my feet, shouldn't lower until the next step is taken, and that will be diagonal to centre, to end facing diagonal to wall, and then we could carry on with the whisk and chassé, whisk weave, left foot close change, or any amalgamation you wish. For the girl, she still dances a pivoting action. She has CBM on 1 and 4. Okay, so we'll have a look at the lady's natural spin turn going down the room now. So what will happen is that the man will do the left foot close change. We step left foot back into the natural turn. It uses the foot and the head to counterbalance, turn to face line of dance. We're going to step forward for our pivoting action, girls. Heel lead, down the room. Use CBM because you're moving forward here, girls. That's it. And you're going to step left foot back and slightly leftwards. I think it's left foot back and slightly sideways for the ICD technique from memory. Left foot back, down the room, draw your right heel to your left foot, rising onto both toes. Step right foot diagonally forward on step 6. The highest part of the spin turn. We lower through that leg, use CBM as you step left foot forward to end backing diagonal to wall, and we can dance whisk swing, whisk chassé, whisk weave, any of those combinations.